You talking to me? We're together. Me and you. You're talking to me? You're talking to me? You're doubting me? After all we've been through? Jab, slip uppercut, right hand, roll, and then what? Then we're still here. Boom, boom, boom. Still here.
Just to be clear right out of the gate where we're coming from in this video, what you're looking at here is a note that was sent to me from Proper 12 back in the day. When Proper 12 first launched, I posted a video reviewing it in one way or another, basically reviewing it. And Conor McGregor saw it and shared 4 times to his story, broke up the video into 4 different pieces, shared it on his story, followed my page at the time, this was on my first channel, and sent a bunch of merch to myself and my family is who it was directed to. So he directed Proper 12 to send a bunch of different merch in a bunch of different sizes, some shirts and hats and that kind of thing, and some other little things. And then this note, which says, "Logan and family, Conor loved your video. Thank you so much for the support. Salante, Team Proper." Probably the craziest thing, definitely the craziest thing that has ever happened in my content creation career was this interaction that I have with Conor. Around that time too, you know, he commented on a couple of posts, like regular posts that I made, just having bottles of Proper 12. I think I gifted one to my dad for Christmas, and he commented on that. And for me, being a Conor McGregor fan to the level of which that I am, that was absolutely insane. It's really hard to put into words. It's like my favorite hat in the entire world. Wear it all the time. But a lot of that stuff is just put away in a box so that nothing ever happens to it. So that's where I'm coming from with this video, just so we're clear right out of the gate. Welcome back to Hyper Studios. Welcome back to the Coliseum. It's the 30th episode of the Coliseum, and we have a Conor McGregor comeback video. The king is back, and I'm not talking about Conor McGregor. I'm back.
Oh, surprise, surprise, motherfucker! The king is back!
It's been weeks since we filmed. I got a little ring rust, similar to what Conor will probably have whenever he finally gets back into the octagon. So bear with me a little bit here as we go. But as always, we have a curated collection of posts and of stories and angles in which to talk about this fight. But ultimately, we are here today for Conor McGregor's return to the UFC, to combat sports, the biggest name in combat sports, at 170 pounds against Max Holloway. This is not August of 2013, which was the first time that they fought. This is July of 2026. We are doing a Conor McGregor fight video right now. This is insane to me, to be honest with you. Got to do a Drake album review a couple months ago. We got a Conor McGregor video. It's been a little bit of a slow summer as far as the channel goes, and I do apologize for that. We have several videos that I'm prepping at once to start getting the volume up. But so far this summer, if you want to count May as summer, we've had Iceman, a Drake album reaction. We've had the UFC White House card, and now we have Conor McGregor fighting as well on International Fight Week. I mean, what an insane few events back to back to back to cover. And then, although they've been canceled, we covered Floyd before that. And a little bit of a full circle moment. Conor versus Floyd was the first, if not the first, one of the first videos that I ever made in my content creation career back in 2017. So to be in technically the first summer of Hyper Studios, we started Hyper Studios in August, early September, late August last year, but to be technically in the first summer of Hyper Studios and to be covering once again a Conor McGregor fight is pretty awesome. Definitely didn't think that it was going to happen after the long layoff that he has had. And just to kind of take us back to that night, the first time that they fought, Conor McGregor defeated Max Holloway by unanimous decision on August 17th, 2013. Some interesting things about that fight are A, that Conor tore his ACL in that fight and still was able to come out with a decision win, but B, that he actually wrestled and grappled Max Holloway to that win, or to Max Holloway's first ever, and by the way, the only ever decision loss that he's ever had in his entire career was that night when Conor McGregor out-wrestled him after tearing his ACL. So obviously a prelude to a couple guys who will become legends, did become legends in their own right, in their own ways, in the combat sports arena in general. It took a little while for Max Holloway to build that up comparatively to Conor McGregor, but Max Holloway a legend in his own right. And these two guys are going to face each other now 13 years later. Just couldn't be coming from kind of different places and different levels of activity, and where they went from that day on is just insane, and we can kind of go over that in a little bit. But as I said, a little bit of ring rust to knock off for me. So we are going to do what we always do and warm up with, in this case, just one story. It's actually got to tie into what we're going to talk about because it is Conor McGregor's last opponent and his second to last opponent, Dustin Poirier. For the MMA casuals out there, or perhaps the people who have not caught up fully with this situation, Dustin Poirier was arrested a couple weeks ago. Let's see, when was this posted? This was posted just 3 days ago. It was last week that this happened. Oh, it's up there at the top. 6/21. So a couple weeks ago, last Sunday, 5:03 in the afternoon, retired UFC fighter Dustin Poirier was arrested at the Atlanta airport after he was denied boarding. So from what I understand, I thought he was pulled off of a flight, but I guess he was denied entry onto a flight. He was supposed to be going somewhere. He was with some people, and public drunkenness is the charge here. As you'll see, this is one of the craziest body cams that you'll ever see considering the circumstances, and you do wonder if there was anything else going on at all. If you know what's about to happen, if you've seen this at all, or if you've seen the headlines at all, then you know, like, it's such a fine line between, like, not wanting to, like, kick somebody while they're down, because I'm sure that he's having a terrible time in his life right now, and that's why we're going to show the back end to this in a second, which is, some of the reasons why this may have happened and some of the things that he's actually said since then and even before then that kind of made it clear that something like this was a little bit more likely than you would like. But to be clear, the body cam footage is absolutely insane, and we're just going to cover it from a YouTube channel perspective and just try to sit back and just take this in. Yeah. So we got the cop coming through, about to open the door here, and again, I've seen this already, but just watch how quickly this pops off. Dude, this is nuts.
Whoa. Let's go, big dog. Let's go, big dog.
Dustin! Let's go, big dog. Let's go, big dog. Why?
Whoa. Let's go, big dog. Let's go, big dog.
What's going on?
What's up? Bunch of Let's go.
Yeah, so right out of the gate, let's just establish that he's having an argument with the two nice ladies over here. He walks right up to the cop. He says, let's go, like 4 times, which is just not a typical response to seeing police officers. There could be an argument for, somebody walking up on a cop like this in a situation like this when they've been, had this called on them or had to have the cops called on them for public disorder, for public drunkenness. You got to think probably the best thing to do may not be to directly walk towards and approach the officer aggressively, but Dustin gets away with it, as he gets away with quite a bit in this episode of UFC Fighters versus Cops. Dustin Poirier says the N-word.
Let's go.
Relax.
Because the line. Yeah, pull me off the plane. All my boys went to the crib.
Dude, I saw MMA Guru's video about this. He said, who is this? Who is this person? All my boys are at the crib. Like, who? And it is funny. It is funny. I'm going to have to be careful with this. Because I know where this goes. But all I'm going to say is that there are, like code switching where you are like, basically like you use certain vocabulary or certain tone or, whatever the case may be. You accentuate certain parts of your personality around other people that are that way, I guess is a way that you could define code switching. But it's not like just some kind of like chameleon effect. Like there are different versions of your personality that are in there. And as an athlete, I will say, there's a version that's not exactly as buttoned up, but this is not the time or place. Dustin Poirier sitting on an analyst desk, or Dustin Poirier, in an interview before a fight, isn't going to be the same Dustin Poirier who's having an altercation in the, drunk in the middle of the afternoon. He's clearly clicked over into like another part of his personality, no doubt whatsoever. And yes, it is hilarious, the terminology and the vocabulary that came along with it.
Now what the
And this is why he got pulled off.
And this is why she goes, and this is why he got pulled off the plane. Let's run that back one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pull me off the plane. All my boys went to the crib.
To the crib.
Now what the
And this is why he got pulled off the plane.
You Dustin.
Man, you, bro.
Dude, I've seen this like 7 times, and this part right here, like, what did the cop do, bro? Look at his face. He's so angry at the cop. Brother. What did he do?
Let's go, big dog.
What's going on?
What's up?
Let's go, big dog. What's up, man? Pulled me off the plane on my boys at the crib. Bunch of hoes, man.
Yeah, pulled me off the plane. All my boys went to the crib. Now what the
And this is why he got pulled off the plane.
You Dustin Poirier?
Man, you, bro.
Man, fuck you, bro. Why? You Dustin Poirier, right? Man, fuck you, bro.
All right, just relax.
All right, man. Just relax. Dude, what is this, bro? What is this video, Dustin? What are we doing, son?
Man, you and her.
Fuck you and fuck her and fuck her.
All right, just relax.
Man, you and her.
Bro.
Yeah, pulled me off the plane. All my boys went to the crib. Now what the
Keep in mind that the cop has not said a word yet. He just asked what was going on. Dustin's just snapping, and then he says, well, you're Dustin Poirier, right? I don't know. Is that an inappropriate thing to ask? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. Definitely doesn't seem like man, fuck you. Definitely don't seem like it's worth that.
And this is why he got
All
pulled
right,
off the plane.
you Dustin Poirier?
Man, you, bro.
All right, just relax.
Man, you and her. I'll fight you right now.
Oh, no. And again, we see Dustin getting away with something right here that just straight up. I mean, nobody can objectively say that that the cop did not have the option at this point to do kind of whatever he wanted to do with Dustin. I mean, Dustin threatened to fight him straight up, and he's taking his backpack off like he's ready to go. He could start swinging right this second if he wanted to. He could go for a takedown or jump a guillotine. Jump a gilly. Oh, God. But for real, though, like, he is so lucky. I mean, the fact that he is Dustin Poirier straight up might have saved his life.
I don't want to fight, bro. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight.
Let's go.
Radio, have you
Yeah,
stepping up?
tell him, come on.
Get a couple of years.
And this is where it gets crazy. Yeah. So at this point, he's identifying him as Dustin Poirier. Dustin says, you want to fight? Let's go right now. Drops his backpack.
No, I don't want to fight, bro.
I'll go with you right now.
Bro, I don't want to fight, bro. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight.
Let's go.
So at this point, the cop has said 3 or 4 times, I don't want to fight. Again, you're getting some real lenient officers, Dustin. He just keeps pressing the issue. Dude goes to call for some backup, and Dustin, again, he's just asking for something so bad here. I just can't believe it worked out this way, to be honest with you.
Radio, have you
Yeah,
stepping up?
tell him, come on.
Get a couple of years.
Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just...
Tell him to come on, because it's going to be bad. Talking about, like, he's about to fuck the cop up. Like, bro, you can't talk like this. You can't. Dustin.
It's going to be bad.
No, bro. Radio, have you
Yeah,
stepping up?
tell him, come on.
Get a couple of years.
Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just
It's going to be bad.
No, bro.
So this version of the video has the words cut out, but that would be where he said the N-word. He said, it's going to be bad, man. Yeah. And also, as you will notice here, you know, the ethnicity of the officer is unfortunate, given the word choice as well.
Bro.
What's up?
Bro,
You want
relax.
to fight?
Now dude has his hand on his taser. And what I don't like about this, and when I saw this before, I thought this as well. Stand your base, yeah?
Stand your base. Stand your base. The space is your space, yeah? Go ahead, carry on.
The cop has now put 2 women in between himself and Dustin Poirier, who is acting extremely aggressively, extremely violently. At any point could just run at him. And these women would be in danger at this point. He should put them behind him with his hand on his weapon, not in between himself and retired UFC fighter Dustin Poirier, who was about to charge him and attack him. Like, I don't understand that at all. Like, they have to move around the left side here, which I'm glad they had space to do.
You wanna
Radio,
fight
start
something?
several units.
How you
No,
boys been not going to fight something?
Radio
Bro.
3710.
Boy, you
relax.
He starts talking to the women. How they gonna? And by the way, this frame right here. Sorry, whoops. By the way, this frame right here, you never want to see. If you ever wanted to experience what it looks like to be standing directly in front of Dustin Poirier, whatever you squared up, there you go. If you ever wanted to experience that, it is right there for you.
come on.
Get a couple of years.
Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just
It's
step
going to be
back.
bad.
No, bro.
So bad. Look at the. It's gonna be bad.
Bro,
You want
relax.
to fight?
Radio 37.
You wanna
Radio,
fight
start
some?
several units. Start several units.
How you
No.
boys
Now he's gonna look at them like, how are these boys gonna come down here and they don't want to fight? Dude, I don't know. This seems like something else other than alcohol.
You're not gonna fight some.
Radio
Bro.
37 Sam.
Boy, you
Relax,
taste
relax, relax, bro.
You gonna
Relax.
taste
Relax, bro.
gonna taste me?
Relax.
Like, yeah, he's gonna tase you. He should have tased you. What? You gonna what? You gonna tase me now? Oh, you gonna tase me now? I guess in his head he was thinking I didn't even do anything, and now you're gonna end up tasing me. But like, you've threatened to fight the man. You put your hands up, put your backpack down. You're endangering these other two people, which the cop don't even seem to fucking care about. The cop just worked his way around here and is just continuing to back up. I mean, you know, Poirier's really putting him on his back foot here, really making sure that he fights on the outside. Pressure, just walking him down.
I'm gonna bang you up.
Bro, relax.
Hey, you
Just relax.
give me a good one.
Yeah. They kicked him off the flight. This guy's a UFC. You know.
What's going on, bro? Talk to me. Lying, man. Right, let's go. Arrest me. All right, let's go. Let's go. Arrest me. That's the best way, dog. That's the best way. Pound it.
All right,
Hey,
man.
Now you did a great job, bro. You did a great job. You did what?
Yeah, that's really sad to see. Honestly, I mean, at the end there, it's just sad. I mean, he's clearly so fucked up, man. He's just like,
Pound it.
pound it, bro. You did a great job. Man, now that we've kind of moved our way through the video, it's almost impossible not to laugh at some aspects of it. But I do think that this part's important because Dustin Poirier, by all accounts, seems to be a good guy. This was the statement that he put out afterwards. He said, I'm at the point where I need some help. Walking away from fighting hasn't been easy on me, and alcohol isn't the answer. It has ruined my father's life. I will not allow it to ruin mine. My family deserve me at 100%. I'm trying to do everything I can to get my mind right and take the next steps. Over the last few weeks, he's also said a few different things that, again, in retrospect, look pretty scary, pretty foreshadowy. It's not a word, but here's one of them.
How are you doing in life right now? How is life? I'm good.
Hell of a question by that interviewer, by the way. I remember seeing that and being like, that is a real ass question. Just ask him straight up, like, how are you, bro? Like, I think, and clearly time has shown, given what we're covering today, that this was the right question to ask.
Some days I'm great. Some days I'm not so good. You know, it's up and down, honestly. It's really, I got to keep my mind busy. I'm danger if I don't have anything circled on my calendar. If I'm not working towards something, trying to better myself and my family, I'm a danger to myself.
You, bro.
Just relax.
Man, you and her. Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just
It's going to be bad, my nigga.
Bro.
I'm going to bang you up.
Bro,
Yeah, rough, man. It looks like, I mean, I know that he was drunk and stuff, but to me, his eyes look like he's been crying. It's rough, man. You don't want to see anybody in that situation. This guy, all of these posts are actually from Stand Me Up. Emil Sardarian, who I like his page a lot, and I think that it was really awesome that he put some of this stuff out here right after the arrest, just to kind of say like, hey, look, this is some serious shit that he's been dealing with, and he's been kind of open with. I mean, that's what everybody asks for men to be, right? And for people to be, is to be open and to share how they're doing in it, and that they're struggling with certain things. And then he did that, and it still kind of went the way that it went. So to know and to see somebody that's aware of the issues that they're having and then continuing to, fall into them to this degree is definitely scary. So he says retiring is scary, man.
Scary, man. Days are long. I have a lot of time. I don't have to get ready for a fight. What do you want to do? Dude, I kind of got I would say depressed, but I kind of got into a funk. Like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? Every day I would wake up for the last 20 years. How can I be a better fighter? What's new in fitness? How can I push myself? I want to be the champion, and then boom, you lay the gloves down and you wake up and you're a fucking civilian. Like, right. It feels crazy. It's like I'm relearning who I am. I don't know who I am without fighting.
How long did it take?
I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a lot of things.
Right.
But fighting was a cloud in my mind that never went away for 20 years.
Right.
And now I wake up and it's gone. Like, what do I do? I'm still trying to find out, Joe. I don't know.
Man, that's hard to hear. That's hard to hear. I really hate that he's struggling like that. I really, really do. I hope that he finds something to fulfill him. I don't know what you do. Again, like the name of the show, the Coliseum, right? You're fighting in front of these giant Coliseum-like atmospheres. You know, stadiums screaming your name. Dustin is a legend. People love Dustin Poirier. Had a great career, had a storybook ending to his career in a lot of ways. You know, and you go from that adrenaline rush of fighting another man in front of millions of people, and the money and the recognition and the training beforehand, and who's the next fight and where are we going next, and you know, how long is my recovery process, like insane highs, insane lows situation. But you don't have to experience the insane lows anymore, but you don't get to experience the insane highs anymore either. And so everything has got to feel dull. And Dustin had fought a lot of times before he retired as well, too. So anyways, the last thing I want to say on this, to end it a little bit positively for Dustin Poirier here is, even though, again, stand me up, follow him on Instagram, even though the arrest footage of Dustin Poirier is a terrible look, I don't think we should be forgetting all the good that he has done for the world, especially when he's asking for help. I would absolutely agree with that. And as this guy over here says, he's not beating on his wife or kids. He had a weak moment and was caught being drunk in public. There's people out there that do way worse. Give him a break. Hot take, but that arrest wasn't actually a bad look. It was actually pretty funny. LOL. Are you Dustin Poirier? Man, fuck you, bro. I mean, it was funny, but it was also a bad look. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I hope that Dustin finds some grace within himself and doesn't beat himself up too much for this. It's an embarrassing situation. We just laughed at it because it's hard not to. And if I was Dustin Poirier, I would probably hate me for even going through this the way that I have. But to be clear, we root for people to do better in general. We root for good things to happen and people to be healthy. And he's got kids and a wife and that kind of thing. And, yeah, shout out Dustin Poirier. Hope that he can get some stuff under control, get himself under control, get this issue that he seems to have under control, and find something that ultimately fulfills him. Because that's largely, I think, what the issue, is. So with that being said, we are to the main event, figuratively and literally speaking, of today's video, the return of Conor McGregor. I'm pretty sure that multiple things in this video are going to get copyrighted, so we're just going to give this a shot and just go ahead and play this Paramount announcement of Conor McGregor being back to get into this part of the video. That shit gave me fucking chills. By the way, Bruce Buffer, Conor, and John Jones, and then recently Alex Pereira was added to that list. Unfortunately, he lost after he was added to the list. But Conor McGregor and John Jones and Alex Pereira, but for a long time it was just Conor McGregor and John Jones, were the only fighters, not only on the roster now, but ever, that Bruce Buffer has introduced as the one and the only. The one, the only. The notorious Conor McGregor. The king is back. Notorious Conor McGregor will take center stage once again in Las Vegas against Max Holloway in his return to the UFC. I mean, yeah, that was loud for no reason. But look at this weigh-in, dude. We're doing a Conor McGregor video. We're doing a fucking, let's go. Let's fucking go. Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway 2, Saturday, July 11th. Today is July 2nd. We're 9 days out as of the filming of this video from this fight. Wow. Absolutely incredible. The scene as he walked in against Khabib Nurmagomedov a few years ago. And yeah, we're back. We are back. He is back. Conor McGregor, Max Holloway at 170. There are a ton of storylines to look at whenever it comes to the fight itself, but in general, we're just happy to have this man back. This man right here. This is before the Jose Aldo fight.
Thanks so much.
He might get mad.
He might get mad. Where's he at? What's he gonna do?
Yo, man.
You like it? It looks good, right?
No, never.
Say goodbye.
Never.
Come get it.
You?
Come get it. Come get it.
Oh, is that mine? 13 seconds, fastest knockout in UFC history, obviously.
I'm your father. I'm your daddy, yeah? Call me Jose Senior.
When I saw him...
Tell him I'm his daddy. Tell him I'm his daddy. Tell him I said
not.
I am his daddy.
Ele tá falando que ele é seu pai.
Nunca vai ser. Sit on my lap. Nunca vai ser. Tá mais fácil. Sit on my lap. Eu domino. Sit on my lap.
So this is obviously young Conor. This is Conor coming up. This is the Conor that got many people, including myself, into MMA. It's been years since we've seen this guy. It's been a long time since we've seen this guy at all, but been years since we've seen this version of this guy. But some of his best moments. I mean, I'm your daddy. That the Jose Aldo lead up was insane, and obviously established what Conor is about these days, or is about in general, which is getting in your opponent's head. Period. And even Dustin, I think I saved something after I prepped this. That was Dustin. Talking about Conor's ability to get in his head, even though he obviously beat him twice.
Very much. Dana, 60 G's, baby!
That's pre-tattoos, Conor McGregor. 60 G's, baby! This is like collecting welfare from Ireland, Conor McGregor.
I want you to give us a quick count to 10. Both
They can only count to 5.
of you gentlemen, if you don't mind, just keep with my count.
Nate can only count to 5.
Sorry I'm late, I just don't give a fuck! I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Eddie said he was disappointed in the country of Ireland. What do you think about that?
Don't give a fuck what Eddie says. Who gives a fuck? The Irish are back. I run New York City. I'm a fucking pimp. Rocking Gucci mink. And without me, this whole fucking ship sink.
Eddie said he was disappointed in the
My fucking god. So yeah, the king of trash talk in the UFC. It has been several years since he has a win, unfortunately. It has been several years since he has a win, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to let this play a little bit here in the background. Over here while we talk about it, but this Conor McGregor, the timing, the accuracy, the confidence, the composure, the skill, a combination of things that we just hadn't seen up to this point, but obviously the personality, bringing in people by the droves, by the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, which is why Conor, became the fighter that he did. Oh, so clean. And then goes on to fight Floyd Mayweather. In the octagon, it's really hard to figure out what you think about this fight. This is a lightweight Conor McGregor. He's only fought at 170 once, which was against Donald Cerrone. So, what does he look like at 170 as well, I think is a good question. This guy is just so far from anything that we've seen from Conor in so long. It's just so hard to know. Oh, look who it is. He's Dustin. Silly hillbilly. Dustin, come here, P-head.
I can't even tell you the first time him calling me out. I think he called me P-head or something. That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even know what that is.
A pea head is like a pea that you eat. It's like a small little green pea. He just has an unusually small head, I believe, with a weird little goatee. So that's what that is. Dustin. P-head. I'm coming for you, P-head. Silly hillbilly.
But yeah, the spinning, you got to wonder, how much is he going to be able to use that leg that is titanium now? Chris Weidman was talking about this, which is one of the only fighters who had a similar injury to Conor's injury, where he snapped his leg, wrapped it around Anderson Silva's shin in a really, really gross exchange. And he did come back. I think he lost in his comeback. I'll look it up and put it on here. But what I did hear him say the other day is that he just never could throw it with full confidence again. I'll try to put that clip in here if I can find it. Conor's game, not only is he a southpaw, so the leg that he broke is the same leg that he fires off of. He doesn't do a lot of switch stance, if any switch stance at all. So that is his engine, that is his power leg now and forever, given his southpaw stance. Also the spinning and, the ability to spin and give his opponents different looks with his kickboxing. I mean, that's the left leg right there, right? So, are you going to be able to throw? Maybe you could throw some heel kicks, those kind of things. Maybe that would feel a little bit different than coming at it full on with that same shin that snapped. So maybe he could throw some things like this. I think it would probably be smart of him to use that leg right out of the gate. Just throw a couple things with it. I know that's probably A, for his own psychology, but also B, to show his opponent, in this case Max Holloway, that leg is very much usable and is still a weapon, if anything. I don't know how much this is true or how much this helps or is real, but the leg is titanium. I mean, it's a titanium leg now. I mean, in some ways, you shouldn't be afraid to throw it at all. If anything, you should use it as a weapon because it's a metal rod that's inside your leg. 2 metal rods, I believe, that he has inside of his leg. But can he, get past the mentality of needing to throw that leg, needing to mix those things up? And by the way, I know we're going to get to this in a second, but Max Holloway is Michael Chandler. Some people were saying, even though he is a high-level competitor, Michael Chandler was kind of built for Conor's expertise. You see what he does to a guy like Chad Mendez in a fight like this. That's the Michael Chandler build right there. The shorter, stockier, Conor could pick him apart from length and that kind of thing with his reach. But Max Holloway's not. That's not the case with Max Holloway. They fought and even that part's weird. They fought at featherweight back in 2013. They're gonna be fighting welterweight. Has Max ever fought at welterweight before? Let's see. It's his first time ever competing at 170. Interesting. So it's Max's first ever fight at 170. It's only Conor's second fight at 170. What I was saying before was that Conor, it'll be interesting to see how Conor's able to use his legs, if at all. Max Holloway, and it's sensational kickboxer. I'm the best boxer in the UFC, baby, as he famously said while he was no-look dodging Calvin Cater's punches and hitting him right back in the face and looking right at the judges. Literally. Max Holloway has the highest significant strike output of any fighter in UFC history. Meanwhile, Conor's gas tank tends to kind of get lower as you go, and that's at the lighter weight classes where he would, theoretically be in even better shape. So I think that Conor's strengths are going to be super accentuated by being at 170, but so are his weaknesses. And I think it's just hard to know with Max. Given his style, I would think that he would be just as dangerous, if not just generally speaking more dangerous now, because he's going to be even more durable at that size. He's still going to maintain most of that speed. He's the highest significant strike artist, ever. So it's really a dangerous fight, and I kind of can't believe that he took it, to be honest. But so talking to Dustin a little bit here, Dustin on the back foot. This is a totally different fight from the 2 other fights. His UFC debut. I mean, this is just not super applicable. It's fun to look at, it's fun to watch. We'll do it for the video, but it's just not super applicable to what we're going to see at this point. It's the same human being, obviously, and this is the kind of Conor McGregor that you want back. You want the fluid movement, the weird style, the kicks, these uppercuts are gross. And then another pow. Oh, he knew exactly the shot, and that's the thing that he will maintain, I will say, is that mind game. In a way, you're back to the Conor McGregor of the very beginning, when all he really had was that mind game and that confidence, and he was the only one that believed in himself. We're back to that, no doubt. We are back to that, no doubt. This is what many people consider to be his greatest performance of all time. Again, your Michael Chandler build. A guy like this is just made for Conor to fight. And I don't know, I just keep going back to Max is such a bad matchup for him in so many ways. Bouncing around here on the outside, patient, calm, no wasted movement at all. Here in a second, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Oh. If you haven't seen this combination before, it's one of the most beautiful that you'll ever see. He's just calm, standing right there out of the pocket. Eddie bouncing around. Comes in with the left there, but the Eddie is going to come in with a jab, I think, here in a second. We're going to go, Comes in with the right hand, misses. Conor steps out, comes back in with the left hand, bow, big shot. Comes in with the right hand with a hook, bow, lands that one. Comes in with the left hand again, bow, lands that one. Comes back in with the right again, boom, lands that one. So slips, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 shots as he's going down. Just absolutely beautiful work. Fight over. I mean, battered. Absolutely fantastic. Look at this. Boom. I mean, and even the slip, it touched him. That's how perfect the distance was. It actually touched him. Look at that. Eddie is fully extended. That is beautiful. It smushed his nose just a little bit at full extension. So he's perfectly where he should be to be able to ride with, come out with that punch. And then, he even blinked a little bit. It got him a little bit. It low-key touched his nose. But it was so perfect that that's all that it did was touch his nose. And then he comes back with a power hand, back into the right hand, back into the left power hand. And then another shot as he's going down, and he's just basically out on his feet at that point. Just absolutely beautiful work by Conor McGregor right here. Still can't believe we're breaking this down. This is so nuts, to be honest with you. And then you obviously have the 13-second KO. They're just going to show the entire fight from this one. Runs right into the center, takes the octagon center. Jose was just so ready to take his head off that right hand. It's so tense. He just can't wait to unleash that right hand. And as soon as you do, Conor's just going to step back, slide out of the way of that, and then just execute with a left hook. Pow. Slapped him. Joe Rogan never said slapped him other than this one time. Runs. Nice and easy. Yep, he was undefeated for 10 years. Step out of the way of that right hand, just nice and easy. Cracked him. Good night. Bedtime. I will say that even as a Conor fan, one of the greatest travesties ever is that Jose never got a shot at him again after that. Seems like you would have given him another chance, but it's been a long time since we've seen that version of Conor McGregor. This was funny. Randomly, Justin Gaethje, when he won the other day, Conor posted this. He said, "What the fuck? What the fuck, guys? One of the fan pages put this up. I didn't know I ever took a pic with this dweeb. Back when I was tearing up the 145-pound division, I didn't even know who the fuck this Gaethje even was. I'm at this game years, man. Concrete block hands, Gaethje and El Cockeye." 2 155 bums. I guess he's talking about Ilya and Conor, or Ilya and Justin.
He knocked him out, face down, out cold. Justin's okay. When he's on, Justin's okay. When he's bad, he's atrocious. He's woeful. He slaps his punches a lot. I don't rate them. To tell you the truth, I don't rate them.
Yeah.
I don't rate them. Not on my level. Max has flatlined Justin. He knocked him out, face.
Yeah, the craziest timeline for this situation would be that Conor beats Max Holloway and then gets a shot at Justin Gaethje for the fucking title, which, I mean, just in a lot of ways doesn't make sense, but you know that they will do it. You know that they will do it, and that is the exact logic that they will use. They will say, well, Max flatline KO'd Justin Gaethje, took him 5 rounds, A, and B, flatline KO'd him ultimately. If Conor's able to come away with a win, I mean, that's what Conor's going to say. He's going to say, I mean, I beat Max. MMA Max says I could beat Justin. If he beats Max Holloway, bro, oh my God. If he beats Max Holloway, dude, it'll be one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, if not the greatest comeback in sports history, given the difficulty of both the injury and the sport in which he's coming back in. But then you add on top of that the difficulty of the opponent. And here's what pisses me off too. People will say if he beats Max Holloway, they'll go, well, of course he beat Max. Max had just been knocked out by Ilya, and Max wasn't the same guy, and blah, blah, blah. Max Holloway was on an absolutely legendary tear before Ilya Topuria, who is legendary in his own right. I don't care what happened against Gaethje. Cleaned his clock and took him off of his feet for the first time in his entire career. He'd never been knocked down. And not only was he knocked down, he was knocked out. So, that was a lightning in a bottle situation in and of itself with Ilya and Max. So nothing should be taken away from Max Holloway at all, although people will if Conor beats him. Before I make a prediction, I did pull up this Ariel Helwani interview with Conor from a few days ago, which, by the way, or 2 weeks ago, 2.7 million views. It's just gross. But there's a bunch of interesting things that come from this, so we'll jump around and go over a few of them before I make a prediction. There's really not that much to talk about in the octagon. I've kind of already done that to the extent that I can. They are a match made in heaven in some ways when it comes to styles making fights. You're not going to have any wrestling in this one. I don't think. Probably won't even have any grappling. This is going to be a straight up 170-pound kickboxing fight between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. It's fucking awesome. It's so fucking awesome. But there's a reason why Max is such a big favorite. And so and you just haven't seen Conor in so long. It's hard to really break that part down too much. What I do want to get a little bit deeper in before we make an in-fight prediction is the mentality and kind of where he's at now. I watched this entire interview the other day. There's a couple things that I definitely did want to show just to kind of speak to the mentality that he is in or is under, is feeling, however you want to say whatever I'm trying to say here.
Even coming back, what's the point?
Oh my
what's
God,
the motivation?
For the fun of it, for the joy, for the thrill, for the competition. And I haven't been, I yearn for this, Ariel. I yearn for competition. So, many times we've been speaking here like this and nothing on the horizon or uncertainty. Now we have a date, an opponent. It's very, very invigorating.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's also been a couple years. He was supposed to fight Michael Chandler. And then another 2 years goes by after that, which he talks about that at one point as well. But Ariel asking him why he's even coming back. What's the point? For the competition, for the love of it.
Was there ever a point where you thought you would never come back, that your final act, if you will, in the UFC would be that fight against Dustin Poirier?
No, I always knew I'd come back. This is the pain game. Who can last the longest? Who can withstand? And I can withstand. And there you go, I'm back.
We're glad to have you, my brother. This part's really interesting. For one thing, at the end of this particular segment, he talks about what his plan is here. Essentially, the UFC has not extended him. He only has 2 fights left, which he gets into in detail here in a second. And they've chosen to not really, engage with him on an extension for that, which is interesting given that Alex Pereira just signed an 8-fight deal towards the end of his career. So I don't really get that. But here's kind of what he would like to see happen following this Max Holloway fight if he should get the victory.
Make the run, you know. However, I'm not going to start saying the run before I get the ball rolling. I want to get in and show that I'm capable of the run. So I have to look at it from maybe the UFC side also. Maybe not, but, you know, I'll give them...
He's a low key. They should have signed me anyway, but...
I'm trying to give something, yeah? You know, I almost pulled it out there, yeah? But you get me. Maybe I'm going to show them, and then there's no doubt. There'll be no question then. And then I'll be able to rally the fans behind me on my cause to get back in.
So, yeah, he basically, his plan is, I'm going to look so good that the fans are going to demand to see an extension and to see him have a title run. By the way, he would not be the oldest champion in history. Wouldn't even be close, I don't think. It's just the amount of time out of the ring, the amount of time since a legitimate high-level win, the amount of time since he's been a relevant figure within the actual, you know, high-level competitors in the UFC at any division. It's just been a long time. If you knock out Max Holloway or even beat Max Holloway by any way, shape, or form. But if he knocks out Max Holloway, I mean, the fans are going to want it. They're going to want him against Gaethje. They are for that second fight. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, if he can get past that.
That's the plan. Right now, I am contracted and I have both dates. For my fight. I have July 11th.
Yeah.
When would you think they would put me back in? The
second one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
April 2027.
It's locked in.
So April of 2027. For one thing, the fact that they have a date already is weird because you don't know what's going to happen in this fight. Secondly, the fact that they would wait that long is super weird, especially considering he's at this stage of his career. You'd think you would want to get him in there as much as possible and leave some space. Like I would, if I was them, I would be thinking like, let's pray to God he goes in there and cleans Max Holloway out one shot. I'm sure that's what they would want. If he does that, you're already like confirmed to know that you're icing him out until April of next year. I don't understand the way that they have handled him at all. He's been healthy for 2 years. He had a toe injury before the Michael Chandler fight, and he didn't feel comfortable going in there, which he talks about in here. He didn't feel comfortable going in there, you know, less than 100% because that's what he did when he broke his leg. He had a stress fracture in that part of his leg before he went into that second Dustin fight and fought anyway, and is throwing it like a fucking I was going to say a savage, but it's honestly not even a savage move. It's kind of crazy and reckless and dumb to be throwing that leg, considering that he knew it was injured. But he didn't want to do that, and so whenever he broke his toe, yes, it's just a toe. He broke his toe before the Chandler fight, and he just didn't want to go in there compromised, which I get that. But what's the excuse for having him out for another 2 years? You already had to wait years and years to get him back and get him scheduled for that first Chandler fight. And Ariel asked him at one point, I don't think we'll get the time to go through it at this point, in this video, but Ariel asks him, you know, why did it take so long between the 2 years and now? And he just straight up says you'd have to ask the UFC. You know, I just don't understand. Like, it's one of those things where he says this later on in this interview too. He's the highest paid and the most underpaid on the whole roster, which is true. He's just in a weird situation where, like, the White House card, they didn't want to put him on the White House card because there's no tickets being sold. So you're going to lose, like, maybe one of the biggest gates of all time because there are no ticket sales, there are no merch sales, there are no general admission, there is none of that for that White House card. So that's why he wasn't on the White House card. So, like, they want to strategically use him, which I get, but not to the point that you waste the back half of his career, which is almost what they've done. And now they've got him back, and they're already planning on putting him on ice for another 9 months. I mean, it makes no sense to me at all.
It's almost a year later.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to me. I think no.
Why is it locked in already?
Because this is the way the contract was done.
That's never happened. I've never heard of a contract where there's a date in the
I know. I have my second date, April 2027.
Why not January?
You'd have to ask Aldi on all of that.
And what he says right after that is that, you know, eventually he got to the point where he was like, just fucking give me the contract. Let me sign it. I don't even care. If it says April next year, I don't care. At least he gives me 2 days for sure. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I love this part. He talks about trying to stay balanced, which is something that I talk about all the time. Hybrid Studios is, in effect, an exercise of balance, right? An exercise of being yourself and being interested in multiple things, pulling from multiple areas. The best of both worlds or of multiple worlds is the idea behind hybrid as a principle. You know, you take the best of this and the best of that, and you have a hybrid. But to do that, you need balance, and you need to balance two different opposing forces pretty much all the time in your life. And I could go on this for hours and hours and hours. I literally want to write a book about balance, where I just compare two seemingly opposite things that have to be balanced, because that's life. And what he's talking about specifically, the balance that he's trying to keep is keeping sharp and keeping on the right path and that kind of thing. And how do you do that? How do you keep yourself mentally in the right place, in a good place? And he says it's akin to fighting. You have to train every single day. The rent is due every single day.
A lot of self-internal work. I've a lot of people behind the scenes to help me. A lot of discussions. And again, it's ongoing. The rent is due every day. It's like training. You have to train for a fight. You have to train your discipline. You have to train your skill set. It's the same thing.
When you look back at the...
Only it's akin to being on a tightrope. And the tightrope is going across this office, across to the next office with a very high fall. You know, the stakes are very high. So...
As they are for all of us, not Conor's level, but again, it applies to life in general. It applies to life in general. Being on the right path, it's so easy to just dip off to the left or dip off to the right. Balance is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. People think, by the way, that balance is 50-50. You got to stand on one leg and balance perfectly. Some things require a 70-30 balance. Some things require an 85-15 balance. Some things require a 0 to 100 balance. That's balance too, by the way. That's why I love balance, because balance can be applied to itself. All things need to be balanced, including balance. Sometimes you go all the way. Sometimes you don't go at all. Maybe just don't try heroin, right? Maybe just exercise every day. That kind of thing. So that's like 100 to 0. And yeah, then you would even get, if you wanted to, into the idea behind, well, you need rest days. So really, you really want it to be like a 7 out of 10 days that you exercise thing, or an 8 out of 10 days, right? So like balance is not, that's why it's such a nuanced, nuance is another way of saying balanced approach at something, right? Balanced look at something, a nuanced look at something. Nuance, balance, gray area, those kind of things. It's so applicable to life, and it's awesome to hear him talking about it, because he's playing that game of balance, yes, on a totally different height and level whenever he has, the kind of things surrounding him that he has. And just even looking at him, man, it's just crazy to see. I mean, just from earlier, we were looking at the highlights of him as a young man collecting welfare and that kind of stuff. And now he's gotten to the point where he's already come through the wealth to the point where he doesn't even fuck with the wealth anymore because of all the things it's brought to him, which I'll show you in a second as well.
You better stay balanced, you better stay balanced, because people, even I was saying to someone else there, when you're making...
If you don't take it from me, take it from him.
Inroads in yourself and working on yourself. Sometimes when you're down in a place, you don't feel anything else. You've no emotion. You're reckless. You're going. You don't pay no attention to nothing. And then when you eventually, with most people and all people, they must put that work in on themselves and get themselves back into a steady state of living. That is the time where the rope is even thinner. You get me? The balance, you need to be even more balanced, because the fall is even higher then. If you fall when you're in this position, you don't give a fuck. You might even do it out of, just to do it.
There's some deep shit he's talking about here, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could go on this for a while, but he's so right. And he's just describing his own experience, but, it's like sometimes you just do the shit just to feel it, just to see what it's like. Even if you know it's bad, even if you know it's not good for you, sometimes it's like, I just want to see what it's like to live this way. I just want to see what it's like to experience this thing. And you're just reckless. And you don't even really care if you fall, and you're also so down low whenever you're behaving that way that it's like, whatever, I don't even care. Like, we're already down here, let's just keep going. Let's experience some more shit that takes us even further. Who really cares at this point? Let's at least get that out of it. Versus when you make your way back, and now you're at the top again, and again, he could just stop and not fight at all, in his case, and only focus on this balance, and it would probably take up his life. If anything, I bet he is very, very happy to have fighting, and he would be a guy like Dustin that I would just worry about constantly if he was not fighting. Don't want to see that day, from a fan perspective, but also from a fan perspective, because I don't want to see the headlines that I saw for years and years and years whenever he was out of the cage. Like, let the man have something to focus on, but it's going to end eventually. And so I hope that he really has internalized these lessons.
So I'm in the state now where I'm keeping my balance.
Balance, baby, balance. Let's see where else we want to go. Oh, the next thing I'm going to show you is this part where he's talking about Bud Crawford. So Terrence Crawford retired, undefeated, beat Ariel Spence Jr., beat Canelo Alvarez in his last fight, retired. He's pissed at him because he was making fun of Ilia Topuria, because Ilia said that he could beat him in a boxing match or whatever, and he basically kicked him while he was down after he got beat up by Justin Gaethje. And then Conor's perspective is like, brother, this is MMA at the end of the day. He got beat up from little tiny gloves and kicks and all kind of shit. Like, as a boxer, you shouldn't really, as a boxer, I can say, I'm not trying to fuck with the MMA guys, and I know my place. Of course, coming to the boxing gym, I would hope that I have a higher level of skill at that one thing. But boxers coming from one let's just chill with the calling the MMA people out, okay? Because I think it's well established that boxers beat other combat sport athletes in boxing every time, pretty much. Which, by the way, we not really had a great look from that standpoint either when you talk about Francis Ngannou. And even, I think Conor did pretty well against Floyd, to be honest. Let's argue about that a different day. But, yeah, I think maybe until such time in which this is different, if I was an MMA guy, I would say the moment, like, you guys can't say anything as boxers, considering that we constantly come over to fight you guys in boxing. Not one boxer has come over to MMA and tried their hand at it because they know what would happen. And that's not really to say anything about either group. It's the truth. It's just the truth. So I totally understand if you're Conor McGregor taking up for your sport and basically being like, brother, you're a boxer and you're making fun of an MMA guy because he got beat up in an MMA cage. Like, as if, see, I told you that's what I would do to him too. It's like not the same thing at all. So he's not happy with Terrence Crawford about that. And so now we will get to the story that I prefaced just like minutes ago at this point.
I on the call. Turkey has me in his room. I'm in this bleeding suite with Turkey and a big gang of these people, right? Lovely fellas, unusual. They're their own. They're actually great. And then as you know, they don't drink and all. I'm saying, well, have a drink. Yeah, and your man's looking at me. I'm like a little store of the yoke like that. I ordered a screwdriver. Yeah, an orange juice and a vodka. This is a couple about 2 years around the UK, one of the UK bouts.
Let's talk about how he's hanging out with Turkey Al Sheikh and how they don't drink. And he made himself a drink anyway. Okay.
Just we have a nice rapport, all me and these guys, yeah. But anyway, they're presenting bout opportunities, and then the Terrence Crawford one came up. 2-fight deal. They were saying maybe boxing versus listen, lads, I've done this. I've done the boxing. They have to come to me now. I'll do the boxing after. So we just worked out of a 2-fight deal.
Wow.
Mixed martial arts first
With Terrence?
with Terrence and boxing after. I said he's not gonna accept it. I hope he accepts it. He can fucking wrestle. Maybe we'll have to wait for his son to do it. Maybe his son will have the fucking courage to do it.
Terrence Crawford has a bit of a wrestling background, so he's one of the guys that they said could actually maybe make it work for a fight. That would not fucking matter, for the record.
Whatever. Gets on the phone. What's the crack, Terrence? It's the Mac Daddy. I got...
What gets him on the phone? What's the crack, Terrence? It's the Mac Daddy. Oh my God, this man is fucking funny.
The big fella here, we've got a big deal for you. It's hundreds of millions. 200 million to be exact. Mixed martial arts against me and a boxing one against you. I don't want to be kicked by you. No way. I says, man.
I don't want to be kicked by you. No way. Terrence is like, bro, why are you telling this story, my dude?
Man, we can box the fucking few months later. What's the crack? Come on.
Basically, Conor's like, listen, you let me beat your ass, then you can beat my ass. We'll make 200 million. It'll be great. What's the deal? It'll hurt for a second, okay? But it'll be a quick KO, and then we'll box a few months later. It's not a big deal. Come on. As the guy who gets to knock him out first, I get why Conor's on board for that.
You're mad, you can wrestle. And he just didn't want to know. So, whatever, that's fine. I think that's his own thing. I don't know how you couldn't. I don't know how as a man or as a combatant you couldn't want to test yourself.
Well, because it's kind of different, isn't it? But crazy. Let's see what else we got here.
So, your man went 5 rounds with Gary. I seen the fight. Little southpaw, little whippy southpaw. So, yeah, no problem. I'm a 170 pounder at the minute. Let's see how it goes. If offers come on the table, day by day, let's see how it goes.
What did you think of Max's?
But this will be my first time at 170 pounds where I'll have a touch of a cut, a slight weight cut.
Okay. What do you weigh right now?
Relax on the figures. I won't be telling you now.
Okay, 5 stars.
Relax on the figures. I ain't telling you nothing. Rounding back around to the Max Holloway fight as we get to the end of this interview, and then we will go into our prediction for the fight. Ariel asks him a question that I've heard him asked a couple times, and I've heard his answer a couple times, and I want to play it, and I want to tell you what I think about it, because I think it's an interesting response that he gives here.
I'm getting out numbers out of me, no.
All right. What did you make of Max's energy? The interview that you did with Rogan on Sunday?
Max is alright. Max is good. Max is my son.
Max is, you know, he's a good guy. You know, he's a good fighter. He's got some skills. I mean, he's my son. I love him like a father does. But, you know, as far as in the, in the cage, I don't know. It's just, what I do know is he is my paternal child. And so because of that, you know, you got to love him. Like, bro, the way he says that.
Good. Max is my son.
Nah, look. Max is my son. Max is good. Listen, Max is my son. Like, God. it's not exactly on par with where we were at, 10, 15 years ago with Conor, but it's the same guy. He's in there somewhere.
All right, Max is good. Max is my son. I sunned Max when we fought those years ago, and I'm going to do so again.
He's gotten a lot better since you last fought.
It is really like when you listen to interviews, and I've seen so many interviews for so many years of Conor, and it's just, you forget that he's a fighter. You really do forget it's been that long that it's like, I'm looking at him and he's like, I saw Max years ago when I fought him. It's like, you fought Max Holloway already? Oh yeah, that's right. You fought a lot of people already. You're actually a fucking badass. It's hard to remember. It's going to be crazy to see this guy standing in an octagon again. It's just insane. And there's just something different about it, as they say.
Would you not agree?
So this is the part right here. I talked over it. No shocker.
He's gotten a lot better since you last fought. Would you not agree?
He's gotten a lot better since you last fought. Would you not agree? That's been 13 years. He's been on multiple big runs, including the biggest run of his career, which ended with Ilya, obviously. But been on a really, went on to become a legend in the UFC since their fight. Again, that was 13 years ago. Kind of hard to argue that he hasn't gotten better. He's gotten a ton better. He's one of the best fighters in the UFC, period. And yeah, he's if you want to say better or just naturally progressed, like however you want to say it, I think that's inarguable. Conor disagrees and then gives the line that I've heard him say a couple times, which is that he got better after. He says that he didn't get better, but then that he got better, but he did get better, but after they fought, which is the original question already. So I don't know why he keeps going with that answer.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't see much.
Since 2013?
No, I don't see much. I don't see much difference now.
Really?
No, not so much. Same reaction, same movements. Listen, Max got better after he fought me.
Which would have been, by definition, him getting better since he fought you. So that's a hard one to square, but...
He added more moves to his game, but even still...
It's like he hears it and he's like, wait, I am saying he got better, aren't I?
There's only one, so I
mean, true. To say it doesn't really matter is one thing, but yeah, let's see what else we got here. This part's kind of interesting. He talked about how his family wasn't there. He's thinking about bringing his entire family to this fight, but his family wasn't there at his last fight, particularly, which seemed to have worked out pretty well given what happened.
Does he remember?
None of my children were present. None of my family were present at the last one.
Even your wife?
No.
Wow. Any particular reason?
It was the mindset that it wasn't. In actuality, looking back, I'm happy that was the case.
Yeah.
Because of what happened. I wouldn't want them to. It's a dangerous business, and I'm still hemming and hawing whether I'll do it this time.
Okay.
But I think I will bring the whole clan, to be honest.
The whole clan?
I think I'll bring the whole clan.
Why is that? Why this time?
Just. I don't know, nothing is ever set. It's just how I feel.
I remember before UFC 187.
I want to show them firsthand what I do. And, more so that if you dedicate yourself to a goal and a task and put your all in it, that you receive this. You receive what I will receive on the night. And inspire them, hopefully, and encourage them to go and chase their dreams.
It would be so scary to have your whole family there, like for something like this, dude. I don't even I would love to take a bout eventually in amateur boxing, with not fucking a UFC match whenever you're as famous as he is. And I struggle with the idea of having friends and family at something like that, because I don't know. It's hard to think that it wouldn't affect your performance in some way. Like you're trying to do more, either do more or avoid something catastrophic, and which makes you fight different. And he has so much pressure already, and this is such a high level of difficulty already. It's interesting that he's going to bring him to this one, and that almost scares me for him. But I love it. I love the idea of it. Absolutely, obviously, love the idea of it. And it's also interesting to think about, that's why on a total side note, LeBron James and Bronny playing together in the NBA. I don't care if Bronny sucks. I don't care if LeBron sucks. Hey, I don't care if you think he's the worst player ever. It's cool. It's just fucking cool. They played together on the Lakers in the NBA. They're father and son, and they played together on an NBA team. It's just cool. It's just cool. It just is. My point being is that, Conor, that's a one-off. That doesn't happen for normal people or famous, incredible athletes. The reality is that most athletes, the experience that they get, or most people, the experience that they get, is that their kids never get to see them perform athletically, even if they are a professional athlete for one reason or another. So to think about who Conor is and what he means to the sport and how famous he is and this kind of thing, and then to think that his kids have an opportunity to experience that maybe once, maybe twice, I totally get wanting to do it. I do totally get wanting to do it. It's an interesting aspect to the pre-fight preparation, but I totally get wanting to do it. It can't be the first time that he's had his family around or there. I know for a fact he he's been there before. I know for a fact his parents have been there before, but the kids in particular, you got to take advantage of those opportunities when you can, I would say.
So that's why I think I will do, why I will have them at this bout.
See if we got anything else from this interview. Oh, this was interesting. So this is like a totally separate story, but the New York Post, I believe, posted a story about how Conor recovered from his leg injury. And this is something that has been a storyline with him for the last couple of years. And the long and short of it is this. Conor took himself out of the USADA testing pool because he took substances and did things that aren't allowed. I don't understand why that's shocking, given the injury that he had. And I also don't understand why that's like a big deal. I mean, a lot of people don't think that it is, but some people definitely think that it is, and some people are still talking about it. And this story was published and very much reads and feels like a hit piece, like we're gonna get him and we're gonna show everybody, oh, let's expose how he cheated and how he's been taking these different substances. And it's like, yeah, I don't really think if he was trying to hide that, he would have been posting the way that he was at the time. Like, people are like, oh my God, have you seen Conor, how juiced up he is? Like, do you think he's on something? It's like, obviously he's on something. He's clearly not trying to hide it, I don't think. He snapped his leg in half. He snapped his leg in half, as he'll get into in a second. The first priority is to walk and to be functional again. The fact that he's even back at all, is incredible. That's partly why this story is so awesome. So, I don't care what he took. Even if it was straight up HGH, I wouldn't care. I don't care at all. And I don't think that it has anything to do with this fight, to be honest with you, because if anything, I think you could almost argue that it may have hurt him a little bit, could hurt him a little bit in the grand scheme of things. But the guy has been tested more than any other fighter. Let's pull that up while I'm talking about it real quick. The guy's been tested like way more than any other fighter. And you look at a guy like Paulo Costa, who's been tested once. The guy's a running joke as far as he even gets in on it with his secret juice, like that he's roided up. Gets tested once. Conor's been tested, I think, 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 times or something. I mean, it's actually fucking ridiculous, honestly, the amount that they've tested him. Almost like they're out to get him. But, I mean, I get it when you have when this is the case, when this is the truth, which it is, sure, test him a lot. I actually don't have a problem with that either. I don't have a problem with him doing it, and I don't have a problem with them saying, like, listen, we know you were on some shit, so we're going to make double, triple, and quadruple sure that you're not still on it. I'm cool with that. So, to try to poo-poo this event, a week and a half before, 2 weeks before, with this big post as if this is shocking information, and he's like this big piece of shit for, God forbid, trying to save his leg and save some functional mobility in his life moving forward, and using the resources at his disposal that he's earned. I mean, if you're not going to use the money that you earned to save yourself from long-term issues physically, what's the point of it? He broke his leg and he used the money that he earned to get to that point to heal it in whatever way was available to him, and I have no problem with that at all. And I think it's just a weird, gross thing that they put that out, and I agree with a lot of what he's about to say about it as well. So I'll shut up now and let him speak on his own damn story.
About an hour ago, UFC posted a statement regarding the New York Times article that linked you to the Dr. Neil Elatrash.
I said the New York Post posted it. It was the New York Times. Excuse me.
And his diagnosis.
Shocking.
Which
a man's private medical, the most devastating injury that you'd see in combat sport. The whole thing.
The UFC's statement on it, by the way, is in 2021, Conor McGregor sustained a potentially career-ending injury and sought medical guidance from leading orthopedic surgeon Dr. Neil Elatrash, who advised the appropriate recovery and rehabilitation protocol. As a result, McGregor did not compete for 5 years, and maintained proper communication with our team throughout, remaining in full compliance with the rules of our comprehensive drug program. McGregor has been tested 19 times over the past 2 years. 19 times over the past 2 years, including 12 times. McGregor has been tested 19 times over the past 2 years, including 12 times in 2026, making him the most tested athlete during this time. Any suggestion that the UFC's decision to end its partnership with USADA was related to Conor McGregor is categorically false. Internal communications and documentation clearly show that discussions regarding a transition away from USADA began months before any conversations involving McGregor. This narrative is a continued attempt by USADA leadership to misrepresent the facts surrounding UFC's unilateral decision to terminate our agreement with them and instead choose to partner with a far more competent, organized, and sophisticated testing group comprised of drug-free sport, combat sports, anti-doping, and SMRTL laboratories. The health and safety of our athletes is our highest priority. We fully support Conor McGregor and look forward to his return to the octagon this summer. This also has to do with them going away from USADA as a testing agency and using a different doctor testing agency. Some people thought that they did that because USADA refused to clear Conor, basically. But the timeline just doesn't really add up. And again, I don't know. It seems like a who gives a fuck, in my opinion.
Strange to me. You have an injury like that, you're not going to walk again. The objective should be to get that athlete, that fighter who's given his life, his limb, his livelihood for the entertainment of the people and for the profit of the company. It should be get this man back on his feet. And that was not the case. Not with the UFC, but with the former body that was there prior. And I find that strange.
So yeah, he is saying that like USADA basically would not allow him to take the things that were necessary for him to live his life, essentially. You know, I've given my life and limb, literally, might lose my limb, might never fight again, might have the quality of my life affected forever. And USADA is basically saying, deal with it. And Conor's like, well, I think that's fucking bullshit. And I think he's right. Like, who cares? Like, him coming back to the UFC is secondary to him being able to walk again. And if he's able to come back given these measures, like, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's a miraculous thing. I don't get it.
And I find that wrong. So all I cared about was, you know, I'm airlifted out of this fucking arena with my leg hanging off. How am I going to walk again? You know, a bar, do this, do that, do it. That's it. And that was that. So the fact that 5 years after the fact, I find it strange, to be honest. And I feel the game should change to accommodate a situation like that.
So in what way? Because we've talked about this with...
If a doctor is prescribing certain medications and certain things to come back, otherwise you're not going to walk again?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. It's like the doctor's basically saying, this is what you actually need. And USADA's like, well, you can't fight in the UFC if you do that. It's like, well, fuck off then. I'll just get out of the pool and then come back. And then they're going to not like that. But fuck you, dude. Like, I'm not going to... Yeah, that's bullshit.
There's like a 20% chance that leg doesn't join together again. It's called a non-union, where the bone doesn't join. You're left on a wobble forever. That's what's at stake here. Fuck this fighting game. You crazy?
Right. It's totally secondary. And if he's able to make his way back after going through all that, then that's great. That's miraculous. That's a cherry on top of it. What the hell am I going to do? Like, if I'm USADA or if I'm whatever, like, I'm going to get in the way of that? No, I'm going to say, Conor, what I would recommend to you, brother, is I would recommend not even thinking about fighting for 3-4 years, probably. Maybe 2 years, 2-3 years. And go take whatever you need to take and come back when you're clean and we'll test you then and you're good to go. Like, that seems like that would be the recommendation. And if that sounds like dirty or cheating or I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's your life, there's fighting again, and then there's this.
I have children to raise and play with. So I was a bit shocked that was the case. But whatever, I took myself out of the pool, listened to my doctors, didn't ask questions. I don't even know. If you're going to ask what was I on, don't even know. Don't know. I don't want to know. All I want to know is what's going to get me back.
I cannot blame him at all. I actually I love the clarity on that.
To my fucking feet. To be able to play with my children in a normal capacity again. And that was it. You know, then we get to our stage. Then you go through the re-entering of the pool. And then you just go through that whole fucking crack again. And then there you go. Well, that's...
I don't see what the problem with that is. I really don't. I really do not.
Or proper care for the fighters who risk their life. That's it. That's what I call for.
2 last quick things, and we'll say goodbye. And I want to tell everyone that I hear that you have a book coming out with the great Dave Fogarty, a coffee table book.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to that because Dave's been a great friend. There it is. Look at Dave out there fighting in the boxing. With the Misfits.
So look, we've taken some great images all behind the scenes.
Beautiful stuff.
In the belly of the beast.
When's this coming out?
Soon.
All right.
You'll hear about it.
Okay, we look forward to that. You have been linked to Ilya a lot over the years. People saying that he reminds us of you and all that stuff.
No way, does he? He has the same tattoos. He says the same stuff.
Yes, let's go. I didn't see this part of the interview. That's so funny. We talked about Ilya in the last episode about how he has the same tattoos and stuff. And even his brother has the same tattoos. It's different. It is different. It means something different. But before I knew Ilya, I knew of the guy who had all the same tattoos as Conor McGregor, if that tells you anything.
He does the same fucking movements. He was going to scream on the thing. He has a case of great, good lad. He's all right. I like him. Maybe.
He's a good lad. Listen, I like him. Maybe. I mean, he's also a bit of a cunt, you know? It's like...
I knew that was going to happen to him.
Really?
I knew by his... I just seen the trade and that. You need to get it put on you in the gym. You need to get it put on you in the gym. If you're not getting it put on you in the gym... I've been there myself, people. You have to kind of say, listen, you better... Here's $1,000. There's $1,000 cash outside the octagon if you can drop me. If you drop me, you get that $1,000 cash.
Wooey. Does that sound like some fun?
You know what I mean? It's the type of stuff you need to be doing. You need the guys coming at you.
You do that.
To an extent, yeah. To an extent. You need a bit of both. But there was too much the other way. Walking forward with their hands down on the opening bell, you're going to get walloped. He's a bit flat-footed. He has his areas. He's not fully complete. He's not a full complete fighter. But he's good. And he can make inroads. His face will have to heal for sure. His face, I'd say, is smashed up. And there you go. What else? What were we going to say
So what I was going to ask was, what would you say to him? Because you've been there before where it felt like everyone
Well, we've
piled
not
on.
been there. We only bled my blood once.
Oh, I've not been there. Whoa. Ariel, I ain't been there. I ain't had my face pummeled in like that. Who's been there? Me? I don't have nothing to tell him. I got no advice for my boy.
I was going to ask was, what would you say to him? Because you've been there before where it felt like everyone
Well, we've
piled
not
on.
been there. We only bled my blood once inside the octagon. I've only bled my own blood once. So I've not been in that situation. He's got banged up bad over the course, which caused him to quit. It's going to be a dark place that he's in right now. He's going to have to dig deep. Can he do it? I think he could. I think he could do it. You know, there'll be motivation to do it. And I wish him well.
I didn't ask you about Gaethje or Islam. Those are the two champions at 55 and 70. Do you think about the belt, or are you bigger than the belt?
No, I'd be after the belt for sure.
Okay.
Dog, you don't. Him coming. Let's just get through the Max fight, bro. Let's just get through the Max fight. It does sound right. Of course, he should be thinking that way, but like, okay, you know. And to that point, it's time to make the prediction. Why does Conor's face look like that? What is going on here with that? Do you guys see that? That's kind of odd looking, isn't it? Interesting. Let's see how much the tickets are. Just out of curiosity. Okay. I'm real. Yeah, brother, I'm a real person. Yeah, was just looking for some tickets, possibly. Sorry, my session expired. I didn't even do anything. But okay. Okay, there we go. Like, what? Let's see. The outside sections, 3,789, 4,000, 2,700. Oh my God. Floor seats, 7,000, 7,000, 5,000, 10,000, 5,000. Oh my God. The nosebleeds, 2,000, 1,500, 1,900. Oh my God, son. Wow. The lowest ticket I've seen so far is 1,200, going all the way around the outside. 1,200. Good Lord, that is insane. Okay, so anyways, we have talked a lot about Conor. This whole episode has been about Conor, and you know, for good reason. That being said, Conor is the biggest underdog maybe of his entire career, other than when he fought Floyd Mayweather against Max Holloway. The official line or odds that they have on the UFC website is a plus 195 underdog. Real quick, just looking at the card itself, you got early prelims. Alexandria Costa versus Cody Durden. That's interesting. Don't know any of that guy. I remember this guy because I remember thinking, what a weird name, and he's from the United States. He's actually kind of nice, so he's good. Let's see, Damian Penis. I hope to God his name is pronounced Pinas. That's unfortunate. Versus Cesar Almeida. It's interesting. Tracy Cortez. Never a bad thing to have her on a card. Don't know who Luke Riley is or Kai Kamaka III. That's interesting. Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez is a great fight. Gable Stevenson, they don't even have his thing on there because this is his debut. Minus 2,500 because he's John Jones' protege, by the way. Gable Stevenson, John Jones' protege. Then you have Robert Whittaker making a light heavyweight debut against Nikita Krylov. Cannot imagine Robert Whittaker fighting at that weight, to be honest. King Green versus Terrence McKinney is a nasty fight. That's a nasty fight. Terrence McKinney, 17 first-round finishes in 18 wins. My God. Against Bobby Green. King Green. Bobby Green. Bobby, 35 and 17 is fucking wild. That's gonna be a great fight. And then Brandon Royval versus Loner. That can't be how you pronounce that. Loner Kavanaugh. From what I understand, that's gonna be a great striking fight as well. Corey Sandhagen, love Corey Sandhagen. I'm glad he's getting an opportunity on this fight or on this card. Benoit St. Denis against Paddy Pimblett for a chance at Justin Gaethje is a great fight. Paddy Pimblett being the underdog there is interesting. And Paddy Pimblett in a lot of ways was supposed to be the next Conor McGregor, so it's interesting that they finally found their way onto the same card. He's the direct undercard to Conor McGregor. That seems like a long time coming. But anyways, the Conor McGregor Max Holloway fight, Conor is a plus 195 underdog. I think that it's a lot lower than that / bigger favorite for Max on the sports books. That's the like the best odds that I've seen for him so far. and for good reason. Max Holloway, 27-9 versus 22-6. Obviously, both of their last fights were a loss, but the 69, Conor's got a 5-inch reach advantage on him though. With the hand, I did not realize that it was that significant. Let's see. You got an 86 KO TKO percent rate for Conor McGregor. You got a 44% for Max Holloway. Neither one of them are going to do any kind of grappling or submission. Knockdown average per 15 minutes. That's the thing about Holloway is he doesn't really have a whole lot of KO ability. He had that insane KO against Justin Gaethje, obviously, but that was at the very, 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 very end of the fight where they pointed down to the ground and they're just swinging for the fences. So it's a little bit more understandable that would happen then. Although a very impressive, knockout. Significant strikes, though. This is where it's going to get interesting because, again, Conor's biggest thing is stamina. He's always had that issue. I do think it's slightly overblown. Like he talks about always getting a second wind and going through a little bit of a lull there in the middle. I can definitely sympathize with that from an explosive athlete standpoint. Stamina is my issue as well. But if I have a little bit of a break, if I do have some time to recover, that second wind thing is definitely real. It's called second wind because you feel about as fresh as you did to start with randomly at a certain point. It definitely happens. And so there's been some times where he has looked terrible when it comes to that, but then there's also times where you can definitely see that that's the case. I mean, he went those 5 rounds with Nate. That was obviously a huge test of that. Again, the tough thing about Conor is that all of this stuff is so long ago. But my point being is that Max Holloway has landed 6.91 significant strikes per minute over his career. Again, neither guy gonna grapple much at all. It would be hilarious if Conor did what he did the first time and grappled and and took Max down and submitted him or something. That would be hilarious, but I really don't see that happening. I see a 170 kickboxing match between these two, and I want to believe so bad. I think in so many ways it's such a bad matchup, and the thought of Max Holloway kicking Conor's leg, I mean, it is his back leg. It'd be hard to get to. You're not going to do that, really. So that does help a little bit. It's not going to be as much of a weakness and an attack spot as if it was on his front leg. But the ring rust, the lack of significant victories, the stylistic mismatch or the stylistic matchup with Max, Max's track record over the last few years, I mean, the first time he's fought at 170, so even though he doesn't have a lot of power, he's going to have more than he even normally would, plus he's got all those other advantages in volume and stamina and this kind of thing, and we're going to take Conor by a second round knockout anyway, because we just want to, right? I fucking need it. Everyone needs it. We need it for so many reasons. It would be amazing for the UFC to have Conor McGregor back to be actually thinking about a potential run for Conor McGregor. I think in the first round, he's going to have no choice but to feel out the ring rust and really just kind of get his timing and more so download Max and place himself back into where he is after his walk and after all these kind of things. He's known for being able to handle pressure and that kind of thing. And so I don't think he's going to be starstruck or oh my God, I can't believe that I'm here necessarily, but it's very natural for him to want to feel out those first 5 minutes. That's a lot of times when he would go for a KO or go for it right out of the gate as well, because of the confidence that he has in his ability. And in a lot of ways, every single second that goes by, the less likely it is that Conor gets a knockout. So once you're into the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, that's not usually whenever he does that kind of thing. In fact, let's see if we can click. Yeah, so he has... See, they have different stats up here each time, but 19 wins by knockout out of his 22 wins. A lot of really fast knockouts as well. Obviously, you have the Donald Cerrone and the Jose Aldo ones in particular. But I don't think that he comes out and blitzes Max right out of the gate. Although I could see that as a strategy, just saying, fuck it, we're here. Let's just fucking go. And just running right at him and just giving it everything right out of the gate. I think he's going to actually want to fight. I think he's going to want to actually be in there and experience it and enjoy moving around and having more of a scrap with Max. So I don't think he's going to go for the KO. And even if he does, I don't think that he has the sharpness, given the years off and that kind of thing. I think it's going to take him a second to get his feet underneath him. And so what we're going to predict officially, which is going to look insane if Conor ends up getting his ass beat for 5 rounds or gets TKO'd in 3 and just doesn't show up at all. But that's okay. We're going to do it. We're doing it for the fun. We're doing it for the shits and giggles. We are going to go officially Conor McGregor via second round KO of Max Holloway at the 170-pound class in 2026, which sets up a potential Justin Gaethje lightweight championship bout somehow, but does. But certainly sets up a way more interesting second bout for Conor if he wins this first one and opens up about a million different options. As long as he doesn't get absolutely killed, I think that he's going to have a million options regardless. I think if he's going to lose, you would love to see some kind of, split decision or something where he goes all the way. I think that would be effectively a victory. As long as he doesn't get, absolutely slimed out and murked by Max Holloway, I think that this is a victory for him to even be back in the octagon. If he survives all 5 rounds and looks good and loses, or if he wins by decision, or if he wins by KO, like these are all wins. These are all incredible outcomes, and these are all things that will go down in the history books as possibly the greatest return to action of any athlete ever, much less in the combat sports arena. I think that it would be the greatest return to action, the greatest comeback of all time for Conor McGregor, if he is able to secure the knockout of Max Holloway, which we are going to, again, officially predict. He takes a round to feel him out, takes a round to get his feet underneath him, and in the second round, Conor McGregor knocks out Max Holloway to announce himself back on the scene. Surprise, surprise, the king is back and all that. I think that's about it. We're at an hour and 40 minutes of filming time and haven't really taken much break, so this is going to be a long video, but what else would you have us do for the return of Conor McGregor? I haven't said this for this entire video, but please, if you are still with me or if you enjoyed this video, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, please share it with someone who also is looking forward to the return of the Mac. And last but not least, if you would consider checking out the Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/hybridstudios, where you can directly contribute to myself and to the channel. If you would like to do so, every little bit of support means more than you could possibly know, making this dream be a reality of being able to do this channel full time. So throw that out there here at the end. Thank you for being with me here today. It flew by, which is always a good thing when it's a long video like this, but it didn't seem like it. So we had a good time. As always, that's what we're here to do, is have a good time, have some fun, shall we? As I usually say in the beginning. I also have the first 4 episodes of Curiosities are already being prepped. A couple of them are already done. The first one's going to be Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're going to eventually get to a Doomsday video as well, but we also have a couple current events videos, Tulsi Gabbard, MK Ultra, secret societies. We got a video about Iran, Israel, and THCA, the THCA ban, and then we also have a gaming video that's about Modern Warfare 4, GTA 6, College Football 27, Madden 27. So we have you covered on basically anything that's going on that's interesting in at least my world. Anything that I think is interesting, as we've talked about before, is what we're going to talk about on this channel. And so I'm looking forward to expanding into Curiosities in particular, because that's going to cover basically anything commentary related that is not sports, which could be a metric fuck ton of things, obviously. So as we continue to make Hybrid Studios a true hybrid channel, please support each new show, or at least give it a look, give it a try. If you like the Coliseum, please give the other shows a try as well, and ultimately subscribe and all that good shit. Check out the Buy Me a Coffee, as I said, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you very much.